Well, howdy, 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 everybody. Teresa here with,
Ready.
and the critters, of course. Miss Jelly Belly is over here just dying to get up here with me. Come here. Come on. Come here, little girl. Oh, my goodness. I know. Oh, so can say hi to everybody? Say hi, everybody. Huh. You kind of love your mom a little bit? She does. She just definitely loves her mom a lot of bit, don't you? She didn't feel good for a couple of days. Now she's back to normal. She had a little bit of a tummy ache, didn't you? She is a lot of joy for us, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Brad even loves her just about as much as I do. But yeah, she brings us a lot of joy.
She was, her belly was making ugly noises.
Mm-hmm. A couple
Poor.
days ago, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and yeah, it was kind of scary.
it was.
Yeah.
We were worried about if there was something wrong with her, but Nixie had a little bit of an upset stomach like the day before. So, but when she wouldn't even eat dinner that one night, take treats or anything. But now she's back to normal.
Yep.
And she has the sweetest little face. She does. Groomed Nixie a couple days ago. Then yesterday we had a come to Jesus meeting, just me and the big dog, because Bradley went to go run and get me a prescription from the pharmacy. And so I decided that would be a good time to clip their nails because they behave better for me if Brad's not home. I think they look at him like save us. And, they really start acting up. But Charlie wanted to protest a little bit after I got his first paw done, and I said, "No, we're doing this." And then Nixie, I started doing her feet, and she hates that. I mean, most dogs do, and so she was gonna fight me. So we had to do some wrestling, and then I told her, I said, "You get me done. You're either gonna be me or you're gonna be a stranger. Take your pick." And so she laid there and let me do it, but like, okay.
Well, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Last time that we took them in to get their nails clipped, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
They would not let us come back with them.
Mm-hmm. I did not like that.
Yeah, and especially Charlie came out. He was just.
Yeah, and they had hardly clipped any of his nails, and they said he was really strong, and he fought him, and uh, it's like if you would have let us back there with him, I could have held him.
Yep.
And we could have held him, and you could have done it, but they've done it before. If we're in the room, they'll behave, but otherwise, he was freaked out. All of a sudden, these strangers took him away from his mom and dad. Oh, are we boring you? I'm sorry. And he was not having it. He was not having it. But everybody's doing good, huh? Miss Jelly Belly Helly Deli. Mama Nixie, the mama dog, she usually not too far from this little girl. And she makes sure if this little girl yelps, Nixie is right over there. But yeah, so everybody's doing great. Charlie's been in his feelings a lot, as in he's been coming up on the bed more and more, and there's a big size difference, and you don't realize it until you get a little girl like her, because then when you're working with Charlie, and he's so muscular anyway, and when he starts doing the same stuff she was doing, it's like holy moly, it's an earthquake.
Well, when Charlie can drag me across the floor.
Mm-hmm. But I had to protect Charlie from this one. Well, this one decided she was going to be a badass and growl at Charlie because she didn't want him on the bed. And I had to tell her no. That was enough of that. She stopped. But then he's acting all scared, and I'm like, come on up the bed. I'll protect you from her. So, the life and times of the Heidi critters, right? Angel loves her, and she really likes Angel. Are you getting down, or what are you going to do now? Huh? Oh, no, you just going to do this?
She's
Oh.
Not going to want to get down.
I thought you might get down so I could talk to these fine people. Hey, we finally found the ring light. Brad just did. Okay, I don't want to hear it, but one of the things we've been doing, that's why I've made videos lately, is we've been unpacking the house. Holy moly! Yeah, this is convenient.
No, she loves you so much.
I know it, but this is real convenient now, girlfriend. But we've been, my guy, we've been unpacking the house. So I have my bedroom. One of these days I'll have to take you guys back there. You can't get nothing else in there, man. I have got all my diamond painting stuff. I have got all my, well, not all, but most of my art supplies. And my loom knitting. Of course, I don't have all the yarn back there. I'd have to have another room. And my artwork. And then my makeup area. So it's pretty well stuffed. I have 8 showing units back there. So I make the most of the space. That's one thing, if you ever lived in an RV or a real small home, is you are now used to looking at the vertical space, not just your horizontal, but go up. And it's basically, even if you're going to have some shelves that are, you think are too tall for you, well, that very top shelf can uh, live decorations. You know, if you have some decor you'd like to display, or something that you know you're not going to get into, like a box of pictures and stuff. And that way you still have some pretties around. Of course, my room is done with like white roses and greenery, and you can tell. I mean, you can tell it's a woman's bedroom. I mean, it's not super super.
No.
I mean, it could be more, but so getting that going. I worked out 3 times this week. I had to kind of take a little bit of a breather. That's kind of funny. I'll tell you guys this story in a minute. But I take a little bit of a break and from it, because my arms hurt so bad. We've been moving a lot of boxes and stuff, and Brad helps with what he can, but I can't call him into the bedroom for every little thing. He won't get any of his stuff done. So anyway, went to the doctor. What day I go to the doctor, honey?
Thursday?
No.
No. Wednesday.
No.
Oh, no, it was Tuesday, because
Tuesday.
we canceled my therapy.
Yes, Tuesday. I went to see the new nephrologist, Dr. Sexina. And I really like him, so did Brad. It was a first appointment. He come highly recommended, and I can see why. And he went over, okay, go. He went over all of my records from Florida and from here and stuff. And there's some really great news here. Is my kidney function was not any worse than it was last June, in 2020. When I initially got put in the hospital here, the kidney function was very bad because I had an infection. And once that got under control, it was really good. And in fact, the numbers have been increasing on the positive side. So I am no longer classified as stage 3 acute kidney disease. I am now classified as acute kidney injury.
Yes.
Because he said that nothing in the damages to my kidney, nothing is permanent. That he feels like it was because if I'm taking a leave and I'm on lisinopril and then the furosemide really, really does a number on your kidneys. So he wanted me to do away with the Aleve. I haven't been able to do that. And the furosemide, I told him I only take it when I absolutely have to. Basically, when my breathing gets bad enough that I know I have way too much fluid up in my lungs, then I'll take some. Otherwise, I just put up with it because I know it's so hard on the kidney. I tried to not be on the Aleve, and after one day, I was almost in tears constantly. and I made the connection. You're not taking the leave. I have to be able to take that in order to function with my shoulders and stuff. I'm in so much pain that otherwise I can't, So, and I figure, I know it's hard on the kidneys, but, um, the last test results he was looking at, I had not been out of the hospital very long, and he was going off of test results right after the hospital and in the hospital. So, um, we're going to see what the numbers do here in 4 months. I do have another infection. That's what Brad was picking up the prescription for, but that's nothing unusual, and that's just a UTI. It is not a kidney infection. So, it's all good news. So, we were thrilled about that because the heart checked out great. The kidneys are checking out great. That's what they suspected, that if it's not those two, that's why he says the furosemide really isn't doing much because it's lymphedema. And so uh, we're going to have to wait and probably get a referral for that. And I still have the CAT scan all scheduled for the 12th. And that's Brad's birthday. This is Brad's birthday month, by the way, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He already got his scroll off, but And then I ordered him yesterday. Here he knows about it. He had picked out this backflow incense burner. It does the cones that are a backflow cone, and it was a dragon one. And but we've really been into the incense lately, both of us. We go through phases like this. So, I know he really wanted that, so that was his other birthday present. And like I said, we've really been cleaning up stuff and packing stuff. Brad's got his bathroom almost all the way together. He got his shower curtain hung and all that.
Shower curtain hung, the hose, the shower.
We always have the shower heads that are, have the long, well, it's a dual one. Or yours is just one, right?
Mine's just one, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's on a hose, with a handle and stuff, because that helps you be able to get in all areas a little easier. So, and we like to be making sure that we're just like really clean when we get done. So, uh, yeah. So he's got that and a few other things to do, but his bathroom's coming together nicely.
Yep. I just need to put together the shower caddy, and I need to clean out the tub.
Yeah, because we used to have the cat litter box in there before we got stuff set up. Cat's doing great. Wouldn't know she's 19 at all. Brad and I getting along better. Oh, let me finish with the medical stuff. So anyway, going along there, my doctor had already tried to get me to go to a pulmonologist, and I said no. And then some test results came. She did another CBC, and she said there's way too much fluid in your lungs. Because, it's like, she's like, this is not just asthma. So, and I finally admitted that I'm having a lot more trouble breathing. I have been fighting this for over a year. Well, Brad says I've been fighting the breathing issues for 30 years, which he's right. Something you don't want to admit, because my family has so much on both sides of lung problems. And we all used to smoke. Not Brad. Brad never smoked. But, so you don't want to admit that because you're scared to death, but I finally agreed. She's very persistent about me getting into this pulmonologist. Finally agreed. And so I'm just waiting for them to call and we'll set something up. Uh, it is what it is. I had such a hard time. We came here to look at property and stuff and visit our daughter. And breathing was so bad that I didn't even look at this trailer before we bought it. I just sent my daughter with Brad and stuff because I knew I couldn't walk it.
Yeah, we did a walkthrough video for
it. And then when we were moving up here, it was even worse. And picture this, I'm having such a hard time breathing. I'm scouting out where I couldn't get the dogs outside and still sit in the rental van because it was that bad. But I would still go over and help Brad get up in the truck and stuff. But yeah, it's been rough, and there are some days that just walking, like sitting here and walking outside to our Jeep, I am so winded that it's unreal. So yeah, we're gonna get that taken care of, and that's another reason why I haven't been pushing it quite as hard working out, is because when you're struggling to breathe, and then there's something called exercise, and they want you to breathe while you do it. Who knew? It's a thing.
Well, and then
It's a thing now.
all the humidity right now.
I didn't even count that. I didn't even think about that. Huh. I know my numbers have been going down some. They're usually 97 to 98. 93, 94. So I know that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but it really is for me because, it used to be my numbers were low enough I had to have a nocturnal oxygen. Basically, I had to wear the oxygen whenever I laid down. So, but Brad and I getting along better. Because we're always going to be close friends and stuff, right? And, Brad's very excited about his scroll saw. He already did a bat. He cut out a bat the first time he's used it, and he did a really great job. And he was smiling the whole time he was doing it, and that was great. I mean, and that's what he's getting ready to set the printer up because now he wants to be able to. There's all these free silhouettes, right, on the YouTube, or not YouTube, but on just the web. And I got him some carbon paper and stuff so he'll be able to trace that and not have to wait for me to draw it out for him. And it's a nice hobby for him. He really enjoys it, and I'm really glad for you.
Well, and the thing I like about it is it's actually one of the things you can do with the power tool that you can actually do inside.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's another problem is, something about sawdust on everything. And,
yeah. I mean, it would be different if I had a workshop or even a shed to work in, but, something about using power tools out in the rain just makes me a little
Really?
nervous. I know. Can you believe that stuff?
That's no fun.
I know.
But, yeah, and I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been busy with that, and I've been tired, which you're having breathing issues, and you're also anemic, and I fight insomnia anyway. Once in a while, you'll get really tired, and I have been really tired. I don't want to take a nap, though, because then I won't be able to sleep tonight. Huh? Sleeping at night? I was still up when the sun was coming up.
What a novel.
See, I am that loyal. I will greet my son I will wave it goodbye, and then I will greet it because I'm still up.
I was up till about 5.
Not about you.
I know.
Were you? So yeah, that's what we've been doing. Like I said, dogs are all great. She fits in here so well. Favorite thing to watch her do, she loves to slide on the linoleum. She just does. But yeah, I don't know. Brad's not doing physical therapy anymore for right now because it started out he was feeling a lot better with physical therapy, right? I mean, he'd be a little sore, which is to be expected, and he was walking a little bit better. But then it's come to the point now where it's doing him more damage than good, and even the physical therapist said, you might want to call and set that appointment up with the doctor a little sooner. She's been real concerned about it too. So Brad called him the other day and said, I'm not going to be in until, because he sees his doctor on the 12th, his birthday. Do you?
I don't remember.
No, you see him on the 16th.
Okay.
I see my doctor on the 12th. You were supposed to have physical therapy, but you're not.
Yeah.
And then I have to go for the CAT scan, all on his birthday. but that's okay. We'll still have the whole afternoon. But he goes and sees his specialist um, on the 16th, and they're going to talk about, it's probably going to end up being surgery. I'm hoping Brad's going to elect to maybe try the shots. Some people have a lot of luck with it, some people don't. But if it could even give him some relief before his trip to California, and then he plans on when he gets back, if they're wanting to do surgery, that he would do it then. Because we've met all of our deductibles, more than met them. So we're going to get him some forearm crutches. Those are the crutches you see that have where they go around right here. Sorry, my arm's really bad today. And then you have the handles. Give him a lot more stability than the canes. Um, I don't know if I told you guys. I don't remember. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. I don't. Did I tell them about the rollator and they replaced it? See, I made a video a few days ago, but I never uploaded it.
Yeah, I don't know if you have or not.
Brad, you guys all know that his rollator busted. The wheel came off. And he took a hard fall with it. And I got a feeling that's part of why the hip hurt so bad too. So, but anyway, Brad was looking at replacing the wheel. And it's like $30, and a new rollator is not much more than that. So Brad got the idea that he was going to call Medline, who this is true, and talk to them and see what can be done. And they got right on it. They were very concerned about Brad taking that fall and everything, and they shipped right away a brand new rollator, and we're sending the other one back because they want their engineering team to be able to look at it and everything. So Brad was so happy because he felt really lost without it. I mean, he uses that rollator to get around here in the house. And of course, anytime we leave the house, it's usually what he uses. Now, around the house, he'll use crutches, or he'll use those crutches when we order them, or he uses canes. And the thing with the crutch will be the forearm crutch. He can even use it with one. He can even use just one and still have a lot more stability than you do with canes. So, we're going to give that a shot. Um, he talked with his uh, senior, we call him, the other day. They had a really nice long talk because the other day Brad got in the mail all of this genealogy stuff and pictures and stuff of ancestors and everything. And so that was really cool. And you weren't even expecting that. He just dropped that off in the mail.
Yep.
And that was very nice of him. Brad's very excited about this trip. It'll be good for him. He's very excited about spending some time with just his brother, too. Because he'll be spending 22 hours together at least just in vehicle travel time.
He's going to be all sorts of sick of me.
Yeah. That's what he told him when he would call at the airlines, because he called but he got the wrong dates when he initially booked, so then he had to kind of go through hoops, and they told him that and fix the dates. And he's like, well, and return trip is because I'm sure, would you say that they'll be sick of me by then? Or yeah. So, but you're very excited, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah, and there's other stuff that Brad would like to see out there and to spend time with. That's his biological father, and he hasn't really ever gotten to really know him or even family history. And so it's really nice to be able to see where you come from, and say, oh, yeah, well, I, look similar to this, or I look similar to that. I tell you what, when Senior answered the phone, I couldn't tell the difference between him and Brad's brother. They sound identical. Because Senior's voice doesn't even sound old.
No.
And I thought that Brad had called his brother, which I wasn't surprised. They talk frequently. And of course, since they've been planning this trip, they've been talking a lot more because he's really looking forward to it. You can tell your brother is really looking forward to it. So, and so is Brad. And I hope that you guys have a blast.
Oh, I think we will.
I mean, because, I don't know, do your brother like the same kind of music you do? Really?
Yep.
Wow. So you know what they're going to be listening to.
Well, and some of the things that I want to see is
Manzanar.
I want to see Manzanar.
Manzanar?
Manzanar.
Okay.
And it's basically it was a concentration camp
Yeah.
for supposed to be just for the Japanese, but pretty much anybody, any
Oriental.
Oriental. And my grandparents spent, I believe, over 2 years at Manzanar.
This is a really cute little story here about his dad was, or your grandfather was French?
Uh, yeah,
French or English or.
he was French.
And so he didn't have to stay there. He stayed there because he loved his wife so much and he didn't want to be without her. That's a nice little romantic, you know. So,
Yep.
Yeah, because he didn't have to be there at all. He wasn't going to be separated from her. So, Brad went to see that, and you want to hang with Senior because Senior did a lot of rock hunting.
Yep.
And does different stuff with the rocks, and so they'll be hanging out doing that. I'm a little afraid. Okay, let me put this out here. Brad's brother and Senior and Brad all have the same fascination about something, and I'm really kind of scared, guys. It's about blowing stuff up. Okay. It's about the dynamite, I think, and blowing stuff up. I know that I've heard all three of these guys talking about it. And then every time I hear Brad talking with Senior or Brad talking with his brother, they're talking about, and I'm pretty sure we're going to blow something up while we're out there.
Well, yeah.
Have we already discussed this?
No, we haven't.
Oh, now you're going to. Yeah, but I heard Senior mention something the other night about something blowing up.
Yeah, it was a story he was telling me about.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure all you have to do is even say just one little word to your brother.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll be blowing something up. Please come back with all the fingers and toes you have. Okay? But so, you know, that who knows what they're all going to get into, but that's the fun of it. Okay? I'm not going on this trip. Brad's going to have basically kind of a guy's trip, basically. And yeah, his dad is married. Senior is married to a really nice lady and stuff. And but basically, it's kind of a guy's thing. And so, what fun is that? What fun is that? And then Carol and I have been talking, and we may later on, depending on how soon Brad would have surgery, plan a little vacation where we would go somewhere. Because she could use a break from stuff at home, and I could use a break just doing the same thing where you just kind of let your hair down and you don't have to be responsible for anybody else but yourself. It's good for you. It's good for you. I mean, if Brad wants to do this once a year, go for it. I mean, it's good for him. It's really good for you. You'll come back feeling refreshed and everything, and lots of stories to tell.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, because this has been something that Brad's kind of dealt with and kind of second guessed himself on whether or not to pursue this relationship with Senior. And then the other day I told him, I said, every friend you make or anybody else that you have in your life is somebody new to tell your stories to, which is true. I mean, I've heard most of the stories. Once in a while, he'll start telling me something. I'm like, you never say anything to me about that. And it'll be a new, But it does. It gives you a chance to, and to hear new stories from them too. I mean, Brad and Senior get on the phone, and Brad's sharing with him about what his childhood and adulthood has been like, and I hear Senior telling Brad about memories and stories of things that he's been through and done, or that his brother when he was a kid and stuff. And so that's really, really a wonderful thing. I really think it is. I'm glad you're going.
Well, and it's Teresa. Teresa pointed out to me that she kind of said, "Why am I showing such loyalty to the man who never showed me any loyalty?" I mean, when he goes out and he admits,
Let me clarify that real fast. We're talking about Brad's dad that raised him, that adopted him. That's the one you're talking about.
yeah,
That never showed Brad.
yeah,
He was not nice to Brad at all. Growing up, totally not nice to him. Even adulthood, totally not nice to him at all. I
mm-hmm,
witnessed that. And yeah, I mean, I asked Brad, I said, why are you showing such loyalty to somebody who would go around, even though he had legally adopted Brad, and go around to Brad's coworkers even, and have to point out to him that, well, that he is Brad is his stepson. And it's like, step what? I have your last name.
mm-hmm.
I mean, but Brad confronted him about that. He didn't have much to say about it.
No,
Tried to avoid it.
he did some serious
I
backpedaling.
mean, why would you do that in Brad's workplace and think that it wasn't going to get back to him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a coworker comes bouncing into Brad was running the liquor store at that point in time. Goes bouncing in, oh yeah, your dad, and I didn't know that you're his stepson. It's like, what? Step me on your face now,
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and his dad is very, very adamant about making a huge mistake. But part of the reason that he didn't contact Brad when Brad was growing up was he was under the impression that Brad had a new dad and that things were all wonderful. He had no idea of knowing, you know.
no,
And Brad was told some mistruths and stuff, which we won't get into, but there's he said, she said, and then the truth with all of it. So I mean, but it's all good. This is a time. This is probably a time in Brad's life where he really, really needs to make a soulful connection with somebody, because all of the people that we were really close to and really loved us have passed on, like Brad's grandparents. And they were wonderful people. They both, are gone, and like my grandmother loved me, and my grandfather, and they're gone. Um, so this point in time, and Brad's been, really rather depressed because of the disability and what that's taken from him. And so he can use this. This gives him something more to think about other than the pain, which has gotten really bad lately. I think, is it a little better now since you're back on the Cymbalta?
I think so.
Because, see, we had a big problem with Brad was taking the Cymbalta, and what he was taking it for was the neuropathy pain. He was never prescribed it as an antidepressant, not that it doesn't hurt that. He noticed, okay, so we put in for get a refill, and it had to be refilled by the doctor, and then the insurance company was really dicking us around with all of a sudden that they didn't think Brad had been on it. He'd been on it for a few years. And then to finally they finally end up doing it for a lesser amount, not as strong. And then he has to be on that for a month and then go back up. But while he was off of it, he noticed that he was a lot more on edge, and would kind of not really lose his temper, but maybe say some unkind things, which would normally not like him. And then the pain was super bad, you know. So, that helps. So he's been finally back on that, but my arms are still acting up like a crazy fool. When the weather's overcast like this, they're just like they just kind of keep stabbing me with pain, going, "We don't like you. We hate you. Here, take this." Last night I wanted to just sit and cry. I either wanted to sit and cry or piss myself. I wasn't sure. Maybe I was going to do both because the pain, and what happens is like my bicep muscle totally seizes up like a massive Charlie horse. And then I can't move it for a few minutes. and it hurts so bad. I couldn't put the TENS unit on it because I had just put muscle uh, uh, heat, like icy hot on it. Was not gonna put those electro pads, those e-stimulator pads on where I had Bengay or icy hot and have that heat that stuff up. I would have been like a fish fry maybe. I don't know. Just saying. I didn't think that'd be a good combination. Like I'm
No.
all greased up, I'm ready. So, that's all that's been going on here. With just, like I said, I'm still working on the diamond painting of Grandma. Um, and then I just started new painting. I just have preliminaries. I did a black canvas, and then I'm doing some kind of iridescent looking glitter glue. And I used a blow dryer and kind of simulated what you would do, kind of waves or clouds. And then I'm thinking about what my next step be. It's just an abstract again. It's just something I'll probably keep in my room. Um, I have the other painting, which is going to be similar to it, already up on the wall. So.
That piece you're doing now,
Mhm.
it reminds me of some of the movies I've seen. The way they predict hell. With
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
I know.
I ain't even using red glitter on that, man.
I know, but that's
Huh.
yeah. Just some of the colors that you used and
Huh.
everything, and it's very impressive.
In the depths of hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been on a kind of a creative streak. I've been writing quite a bit. And kind of funny because I write on this anonymous blog site. No, none, I'm not telling you any of you guys where. Not telling any of your cats where. Because that's why it's anonymous. But half the time what I write, I don't even post. It's just maybe I was venting, and so it feels better just to kind of write it out, and then I don't even post it. I just hide it away in my file, but I feel better. You know, art or therapy. A lot of times writing is part of therapy, or you have the art therapy too.
Hmm.
So still doing the hats, but I can't show you because I always forget them. They're in the back. I'll bring them out one of these next time I do a video. I want to get back into making more regular videos. This has just been a very hard time in our life for both of us. Coming to terms with um, a lot of things in the past that we never really talked about. Um, you know, or that even stuff that didn't have anything to do with each other, but was stuff that really bothered us. So, what are you doing, little girl? I wonder if she needs out. You need out? Get the snaggletooth, so we got one. But yeah. So I mean, it's been a hard time in our life. I have good days and bad days, and maybe then I'll remember something, and then all of a sudden I feel really mad at him because I remember this event or that event, and you know, which granted is 20 years ago, and I don't know why he just doesn't remember it right then and there, but you know, excuse me, I'm so sorry, guys. But that's about it, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Brad's making enchiladas tonight. Chicken enchiladas, or no, using ground
I'm going
turkey,
to
aren't
use
you?
ground turkey. Plus, I'm going to use. We've got some frozen chicken.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. Yeah,
yeah. It's the we had bought some of the whole chickens from
right.
Sam's Club.
Yeah.
That they the rotisserie chicken. That was the
Is that
big
the
word.
rotisserie, or is that just the one I did?
It might be the one you
It's
did.
the
I don't
one I
know.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
and yeah, and that turned out great.
So yeah, because we've been using some ground turkey because, um, getting a little used to cooking with it, but it's so much cheaper.
Yeah,
I mean, so I kind of buy half and half now.
yeah. Because I prefer using the ground chuck.
He's
What?
liking that.
I like using the ground chuck because it's 80%
Yeah.
lean, and
That's like what, $4.79 a pound or something like that right now.
yeah. Well, when we buy it, we pay about $3.70.
Yeah,
And then the 1 pound rolls of the ground turkey is what, $2?
$2.09.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep.
you
That's
know,
at
and
Aldi's. I've been
yep,
getting it. Yeah.
and a lot of the recipes I use it in, I'll use it like in spaghetti sauce or
Oh,
goulash or
sometimes it depends on how much he's making. Sometimes he'll use half and half,
yeah,
half beef and half ground turkey. And I really like it when he does that because you really can't tell the difference.
yeah,
But you really can't tell the difference that much if you're using it like in spaghetti sauce and stuff.
yeah.
And we just still like to cut pennies where we can. It's just like I just groomed Nixie again. And then, like I said, I told you guys about clipping their nails. And I saved us over $150 this week because I groomed them and I trimmed nails and everything. I mean, in our area, just to give a large dog like Nixie, and she weighs about 65, maybe 70 pounds, is $75 just to shampoo them. You know how many shampoos I can do this dog for that? A lot.
You know what? You're talking about the little girl's weight,
Hey,
and
I didn't bring up her weight right now.
yeah, you did,
Well, so what about
but
that?
that's why she's over
Oh,
there.
noodle face, you
That's
don't care, do you?
that's what. See, look at that.
Look, no, she's stressed out because it's thundering and she's
Yeah,
not liking it. The other day I did tell Brad I was grooming her, and I'm like, we got to back off the treats because she's getting quite, a spare tire on the tummy. It's just not good for him and stuff because, you know, and I'm just as guilty. Especially when you got three of them and you're getting the newest one used to the routine, like going outside and stuff. So she quickly picked the fastest way to get that dog to not piddle on your floor anymore was to give a good girl treat because then we haven't really had any trouble with her, have we?
no,
Because she knows that and she doesn't like being in trouble anyway. She's over there getting loved up by Brad. She likes her daddy. She really does. A lot of times we usually watch TV back in my room. Because like I said, we're still really great friends and stuff. And so sometimes he'll be laying on my bed sometimes because that feels better for his back. And she'll come and curl up with him and
come on,
stuff.
Jelly Bean.
She Yeah, see now she just jumped up on his lap. She really likes him, and I'm glad about that because, I didn't want to just have a dog that just liked me or anything. If you can help it, because, you know, there'll be times that I might be gone, and Brad needs to have her, and like if we had just dogs that didn't come to both of us, where would that leave them? Like when Brad goes on his vacation and stuff. I just know he's going to have so much fun. It's just, and they're going to stay in a motel, him and his brother. So, that'll be nice. Because, at the end of the day, no matter how great somebody is, you want to go back to your own room, getting your very, very comfortable, usually god awful looking clothes, right? Because they're so comfortable. That's why you haven't thrown them away, even though they got like a bajillion holes in them. So, uh, and just chill out. You know, I can totally see him and his brother hanging out and stuff, and who knows what.
Well, sorry, you
No,
mind
go
if
ahead.
one of the things that kind of amazes me is we were raised over 1,000 miles apart. He was raised in Central California, and I was raised in Wyoming,
Yeah,
and so many of the similarities, like our taste in vehicles, our taste in music,
yeah.
you know.
The love of blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
The only major difference between him and his brothers is okay. Now you're gonna have to wrap your mind around this one. Brother doesn't like cheese.
Ooh.
Who can not like cheese?
Yes.
But he doesn't. So, you
And
know.
there's no such thing as too much cheese.
Well, there is because I've experienced that living with Mr. Heidi because there's been a few times he put so much cheese and like if it's kind of melting and gooey. It kind of reminds me of eating snot or something. And like gets stuck in the back of your throat, and you're like, that can be too much cheese. I don't want to take a bite of something and have it. I feel like I'm eating snot. Not very nice. The dog's over there being silly with Brad. Every time he quits petting her, she's like, with her paw. She uses her paws a lot. Yeah. So, anyway, we just thought I'd come on here and say, hey! But I was getting ready to hook up the printer and stuff, and I got some stuff to do in my room, and I got to clean the bathroom. Uh, yeah. Straighten up a little bit more stuff. I'm hoping to get some painting done this afternoon. Definitely would like to do that. I'd like to work on Grandma for a while. I want to get her Penny. Every time I say that, he laughs. You heard that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I got to do Grandma. And he's like, but every time he walks in my room, and I do it all the time too, we're all like, hi, Grandma. Because it's a really good picture of her. Really was a hard thing to look at when I first started doing her. But now I'm used to it. And, so blessed to have known her. So extremely blessed to have known her. I mean, she usually didn't get real close with women. And she just got along better with even the boys. But she and I were like that, And I'm really blessed I got to know her. I only got to meet his grandfather one time before he passed away. And I wish I would have known him. I don't really remember much about him, except for the girls were on his lap and he was reading them a story because I was so transfixed by his grandmother the minute she came in my house and then she came right in the kitchen. This is when you know you got a good woman here because they make a beeline to the kitchen. And that's all his women are going to be in the kitchen. Well, I think Brad was in there too.
Off and on. I
Yeah.
kind of bounce back and forth.
Because I don't know, his grandmother sat down at the kitchen table and I sat down and we just were, I couldn't really tell you. I know your mom was there. I don't know if she was there the whole time or for a while. But
I don't think she came out to the kitchen. I think she stayed in the living room.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I know she came in the kitchen to tell us how amazed she was that the girls were both on your grandfather's lap and he was reading them a story because that didn't happen normally. So yeah, I was really blessed to have gotten to know her and have her love me so much. She really did, and Brad too. She really loved Brad, and that's what I told him the other night. We'd had a particularly kind of a rough day where there were some hurt feelings on both parts, and we were kind of squabbling back and forth. And later that night, we were in my bedroom watching Criminal Minds, and I looked over and I said, Grandma would do, and he said, yeah, and I said, yeah, she'd take us both by the hand and tell us to knock it off, and she would have, given you that look that you knew, is that look, that you will be knocking it off now. So, yeah, it kind of keeps you in check. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here because I know you guys are probably snoozing hard by now. You're welcome. If you couldn't sleep and you're watching this late at night, you're welcome. Or if you think you can't sleep, put this on and you'll fall asleep pretty soon.
That's what you do. You have me come to your room and I start talking to you and you drop.
I know, and I feel so bad because sometimes, okay, see, I was almost out. You guys know I was almost ending this, but he started stuff. But it'll be like really late at night, and so one or the other of us will call the other person because that's our intercom system, and say, "Are you still awake?" Yeah. Well, why don't you come back and we'll watch an episode of Criminal Minds. So you'll come back and yeah, and then lately, every night after dinner, I'll lay on the bed, and next thing I know, I'm snoozing to it. But I told him just go ahead and just roll with it, because then one of the JJ had her baby, and I didn't even know she was ever pregnant. I guess I slept through it all. So the dog's sitting there. She's got both fangs exposed, and she got her paws crossed there in front, looking at me like, yes. So anyway, I'm getting off here for real now. If you guys hear Brad start talking, we're all gonna ignore him and run out the door, okay? Okay, because I love you guys and I do cherish your friendship so much. And I hope you guys are having a good weekend. I do miss you guys and think about you guys, but I don't have this set up in my bedroom, so that's my excuse and I'm using it. Love you guys, and I will talk to you later. Say bye, Brad.
Bye, Brad.
Bye, guys.